Good morrow to thee, for I am Sybil.
Forsooth and verily we do skip upon the heath towards the podcasting studio this fair morn, even though it doth be after we have quaffed our evening meal.
What is your name?
My moniker of choice is that of Dad. Okay. Hello, everybody. We are releasing this a couple of days after our normal release day.
Been on holiday.
Because we've been on holiday. We've been caravanning, and we did take the laptop to the caravan, and I sort of half had the intention that we might record, but
No.
But no, we decided no.
No, I decided. Mostly.
I mean, I didn't force the issue. So we both came to a mutual decision, which was, I don't know, let's call it a 70-30 split.
I'm the 70.
Yeah, I'm the 30, that's fine. So we have got through Rose/House.
Not we, me.
Well, okay.
I mean, you got it through in like a day.
Yeah, it was yes, but we'll come to kind of the whys about that later. So it's by Arkady Martin. I'm not sure how we pronounce Arkady's first name, Arkady, but they are a New York-based writer. And the thing that drew me to this.
Hi.
Sybil's just fallen onto one of the Hot Wheels dinosaurs that we have in the recording studio.
Ow.
And has, I don't know, injured some ribs.
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. So I don't know if she's going to try and use that as an excuse for poor mic etiquette and being about as far away from the mic as she can be.
Yes.
Yeah, she really is. So the thing that drew me to this was actually the kind of line on our copy, which is a sharp, clever blend of science, fictional, gothic, and crime. And when I bought this, we'd been watching a lot of murder mystery type things. We'd been watching Knives Out.
I don't really like the Agatha Christie movies.
Yeah.
They seem too old for me.
Yeah, we've not done any of the Ken Branagh Poirot ones yet. Ken Branagh is an actor. In fact, the reason that we started off talking as we did is because Sybil was trying to message one of her friends in as close to Shakespearean language as she could. Ken Branagh is he has done a lot of things. He was Gilderoy Lockhart in the Harry Potter films. That's where you might know him from. But he is also a very serious...
Who?
Gilderoy Lockhart, the Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher in the second year in the Chamber of Secrets, who releases the Cornish Pixies.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that guy.
The big-headed dude.
Oh, yeah, the blonde-haired dude.
Yes, so he's actually a very serious Shakespearean actor. He's a very good stage actor, basically. He was also in a really good film version of Othello, where Lawrence Fishburne played Othello. Othello. It's a Shakespeare play. It's one of my favourite Shakespeare play. So Ken Branagh is in that's a filmed version, but it's the Shakespearean version, and does a lot of stage Shakespeare acting. But he also is Poirot in Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile.
What's that?
They are films based on...
Are they old?
No, they're not very old. They're, I don't know, 2010s maybe?
So not Big Bang Theory level old. Because that's like 1990s.
It's really not 1990s.
What is it?
It's like late 2000s, early 2010s, maybe even later. I think...
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's just filmed that way.
Yes. I think it's television filming versus movie filming. So we're going to do a non-spoiler section of this, because I would recommend we'll get to our vibe check later and see what the vibe check was.
Bad.
From both sides.
Bad.
We won't hint anything up until that point, so the vibe check can be a real surprise. But I would really recommend this to anybody. So I have suggested that we do because it is it does have an element of mystery to it. I've decided we'll do a non-spoiler section where we will talk about things like the setting and the key themes. Sybil's trying to rush this section apparently, and then we'll do a spoiler section where we will talk in a bit more detail about the plot.
And a spoiler song.
And we've made a spoiler song, absolutely. I'll tell you what, I'll start by giving you the blurb and then we'll talk about... Sybil's going to start by giving us the blurb.
Thank you. How do you pronounce his name?
We think Bazit Denyer.
Bazit Denyer's houses are haunted, and the late architect's most iconic creation, Rose House, is no exception. A house that is artificial intelligence, with consciousness infused in every load-bearing beam and fine marble tile. Denyer's been dead a year, and the house is locked up tight. But one evening, Detective Maritza Smith receives an alarming call from Rose House. There is a dead body inside. It is not Basil Denyer's, and it is not his former protege, Dr. Celine Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
The sole person permitted once a year to access Rose House. It's someone else, but Rose House refuses to communicate any further. No one except Dr. Giselle can enter the house, and Dr. Giselle was abroad when Rose House called in the death. But someone got inside, and someone died there, and someone may be in there still. Ooh.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, excellent. So, first of all, the setting, I thought it was very cool. Yes, we're in a desert. I feel like we can say more than that, can't we? So we're in some sort of, not too far into the future, but I don't think we are too far into, I think maybe 40 or 50 years. I forget, they might actually tell us. But it's talking about checkpoints, water rationing, people being killed for their water. We're out in the desert, in the Mojave Desert specifically, and
is that a desert that's around today, or?
Yeah, it's in the USA.
Oh.
I think it's in California.
Oh, it's in California.
So we're somewhere into the future. Water is being rationed in the desert, and Rose House is a fully controlled by artificial intelligence, and in theory has something approaching a personality.
Annoying.
Yeah, really aggravating, but also very sinister, I thought. But yeah, very, very...
Like a little sister.
If her little sister was...
a bit annoying, but a bit sinister.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You know, comment...
Or just like someone like related to you, but younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Comment below if you have a sinister younger sibling.
I do. I have 3.
Good. Well, you can comment below on our video.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, the house controlled by AI. I thought...
Sorry.
Sybil's adopted a really weird position. And I did say before we started recording, are you going to be comfortable like that? And she kind of went, huh? As if to go, well, whatever, Dad, don't really care.
I'm back.
Some of our characters, there must have been some characters that you like. Maritza Smith?
Yeah, and also Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver Torres. So you've got the 2 detectives, China Lake Precinct, which is the small police precinct that they work in the Mojave Desert. You've got Maritza Smith and Oliver Torres. And Maritza Smith is actually the perspective passes between Maritza, Oliver, and Celine Giselle, who is, as the book says, the only person who can access Rose House, but she can only access it once a year.
Why? Oh, how about you just stay for a year then?
So I don't think this is spoiling it because you find this out within the first few pages. But so Bazit Denure, the architect, was Celine Gizil's teacher many years ago, but they had this gigantic falling out where she basically renounced him and said, I don't want anything to do with you anymore ever again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
That's a bit harsh.
I think he was a very horrible man from what the story tells us. Once again, I think you find that out pretty early on. You just get lots of... We'll talk a bit more to it in spoilers.
I get too much information and I forget most of it.
Yeah, I do think also part of your issue might be that you start to read it, find it a bit slow, and then read it in very small chunks. Mm-hmm. But hey, that's... Yes, that's just the thing, isn't it? So she is only allowed to be in there for... First of all, it was written into his will. I think she thinks as a kind of punishment. And...
Why a punishment?
Because...
I mean, it is haunted.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he knew that she hated him. So he's kind of forcing her to...
Forcing her?
Well, sort of forcing her. So within Rose's house, in the basement of Rose's house, are all of Bazit Denure's remaining works, including like unfinished works, things he designed but never actually finished. And she's the only person that can go and look at it. And while she hates him, she is still fascinated by what he does. Or what he did, I suppose. I feel like I don't think we can say anything else without going into spoilers. So I will insert the spoiler song here.
Skidamarinka-dinka-dink, skidamarinka-doo. Spoilers for you. Have you read this book before? Would you like to? Spoilers for you.
And consider that fair warning that we are now well and truly into the spoiler section.
Spoilers on, spoilers on.
Well, we've had the spoiler song. Okay, so now we're in the spoiler section. So we know already from the blurb that there is a dead body that's been found in Rose's house. The only person that can get into Rose's house is Celine Gizil.
And Rose's house itself.
Well, yeah, Rose's house itself. But Rose's house is... Maritza does try to get into Rose's house, the detective, but she is turned away.
No, she
is the first time.
The first time.
Yeah. So when they return, the only way that... they can convince Rose's house to let Maritza Smith in as well as Celine is that Maritza kind of does a thing where she convinces the Rose's house that she is actually AI. She goes, I am the China Lake precinct. So I'm not actually...
precinct?
It's like an area, like a police area. So like the precinct deals with a particular area. She convinces Rose's house that she is actually just the like embodiment of the police force, so she's not actually human. At which point Oliver Torres goes, hang about, that seems like a very, very bad idea. Why would you pretend to this AI thing that you're not human?
Oh yeah, because then it won't care if you die.
Yeah, basically the AI has a duty of care to report harm or death to a human within a certain amount of time, but it doesn't need to do that if it doesn't think that she's human. So big, bold moves. I would sort of agree with Sybil that the first part of this might be relatively slow moving, but I think from here everything moves quite fast. So on the outside, you've got Oliver Torres, who is like, I probably shouldn't have left Maritza. And he then meets a man called Goodspeed, who we think's a bit shifty, and he meets a journalist called Alana Ott, who is also quite shifty. And Oliver Torres...
I don't think she is. She's quite nice.
She's quite nice, but she's definitely not a journalist. She's definitely pretending, and she's some sort of like doing some sort of corporate espionage or spying. And what Oliver finds out... So Torres goes to Alana Ott, who is a journalist who had called the police station earlier to say, hey, you know anything about this body at Rose house? And they initially went, no, go away. But now he calls back and he's like, hey, I need some help. And from his research and being told by Alana Ott, he finds out that there are some people that basically want to steal the AI that runs Rose House, because Bazit Denyer had an idea that it could be used to power an entire city. So an entire city run by AI. So
terrible.
Yeah, it sounds awful. And I think because we see the main AI character here is Rose House, and it is weird. It's really sinister.
It's annoying.
It is annoying, but mostly it is. I guess it's been programmed by Bazit Denyer, and I think Celine says that it talks a bit like him. So he must have been a pretty weird dude. So yeah, Oliver Torres and Alana Ott, they start to head up to Rose House. Let's backtrack a little bit and do a sort of meanwhile. You've got Celine and Maritza are inside. They find the body, which is in the same room as the Bazit Denyer had his body compressed into a diamond and put in a plinth in the middle of his house.
He was very vain.
Super vain. Yes. So they find the body underneath this plinth, and Maritza's kind of looking around and going, okay, can't really tell what happened to him. He seems like he sort of choked, but he doesn't appear to have any, there's no bruises around his neck to say that somebody would have choked him. It doesn't appear to, it's missing.
Roses.
Yes.
Roses, Rose House.
Yes, well, Rose House has lots and lots of rose bushes, and there are rose petals in this corpse's mouth. This is not how the corpse died. We still don't know how the corpse died. And
I don't think it's ever tell.
No, we do. We find out. We get shown by Rose House. So it's whether we believe Rose House or not.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I sort of get you. But there are petals in the house, at which point Maritza's like, well, hang about. Rose House couldn't put those petals in itself. So that doesn't really make sense. Celine kind of freaks out and runs off. And Maritza gets an offer from the house. It's like, hey, do you want to come and see the cellar where all the cool stuff is? And Maritza goes, yeah, okay. And it's like, yeah, I'll show you how the body died. And it uses these little nanobots, very, very, very tiny robots, to reenact a scene of how the body died. So the body basically was asking, hey, can I take you and plug you into a city? And Rose House went, no, I actually don't think that'd be a good idea. And the body goes, hey, but I would really like to do that. And then the Rose House goes, no, I'm okay. And the body goes, well, it's okay because I've found the bit that I need. And then what Rose House says is that it choked him to death with the tiny robots.
Oh, yeah, like it was in the air.
Yeah, so they're kind of like a cloud. And Maritza describes being in this room as she's feels like she's kind of losing her mind. And she's all of a sudden very aware that she's probably breathing these things in. And she's just seen supposedly how Rose House killed this man. So she climbs back up out there, and as she gets back up to the room where the corpse is, she finds Celine putting more petals into the corpse's mouth.
Why?
Well, I think the suggestion is that Celine has kind of been driven insane by the house, and she at some point, because they think that Celine had found a way to get back inside, put the petals in the mouth, or had come up to the house when she'd been brought over from... She's living in Turkey at this point. They fly her over to help with the investigation. They think that at some point there, she's come up and she's done this kind of ritual of rose petals in the mouth. Smash cut outside. We're back with Torres. He's there. Alana Ott is also there. They see this guy Goodspeed, the dodgy guy that we saw earlier. He's trying to break into Rose's house. Oh no. So Alana Ott distracts him, and Oliver Torres sneaks around and then rugby tackles him from the side. Goodspeed does pull a gun on Alana Ott, but Alana Ott gives no damns whatsoever. And then Maritza, smash cut back to inside. Maritza is...
Smash cut?
Yeah, like in a film where it's just like, boom, we're now in a totally different location.
Ah, okay.
And
I'm watching a movie after this. I'm watching Damsel.
With Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Alana Ott then, she, we were smash cutting to inside. I did forget one key detail for outside. Alana Ott manages to hotwire Rose's house to open a door for Oliver Torres. And kind of about the same time that Maritza is running around Rose's house trying to find an exit. And then Rose's house very calmly goes, "Hey, do you want a door? Yeah, out you go. Bye." And Maritza
wants her to go.
Yeah. I think it's
because she's a nuisance.
Sort of. Or it's had its interesting time with her, and it can now go and do whatever it wants else that weird houses do.
Kill
people that try to turn it into a city.
Yes.
Which I thought
Why not turn it into power?
Plugging it in so everything in the city is controlled by the Rose House AI.
So all you're watching on TV is AI slop.
Could be. I think the more like...
I watched something at school the other day, and it was so obviously AI, and you know how it doesn't just do like animation, it just does frames.
Okay.
And in one of the frames, there was this one girl, and her eye was on her hand.
Yeah, not ideal.
And they were like looking the other way and all that.
We had a resource to do with the kids at school, and it was all about which form of renewable energy would be the best in this particular situation. But the video that it gave to illustrate these different points was made using AI, which I did have to stop the video and point out to the kids, hey, AI is really bad for the environment, so it's kind of ironic that we are using an AI video.
And then everyone laughed.
No, they all sort of looked at me, and one of them went, "Oh, does AI really do that?" And I went, "Yep." And then they went, "Okay." And then
and then everything went back to normal.
Looked at me like I was an advert on the side of a bus. Pretty much. So yeah, and then at the end of the story, we find out that Maritza moved to New Orleans, where it's raining all the time. So we've got some like really extremes and contrasts in weather. Yeah, and it basically the murder goes.
Just make that noise.
I don't know. Possibly haunted, like Rose's house. Yeah, so Maritza moves away from the desert, as far away from the desert as she can. Yes, so I don't think it will... Well, in fact, Sybil's given us some sizzle on what the vibe check might happen, so I'll place the vibe check song here.
What's the vibe check? What's the vibe check?
Okay, Sybil, what was your vibe check?
Bad.
Could you give me some reasons?
Bad.
Bad is not an explanatory reason for bad.
It was basically... If I can't get into it at the start, then it's going to take me ages to read. And then I forget. And then I forget the bits that I read because I can't bring myself to read it all in one go.
Yeah. Do you not think that if you push through in these moments that you might get more out of it?
No.
Just a blanket no. Sybil, she say no. Well, I think maybe because I read it pretty much all in one go, I would say the vibe check for me was overwhelmingly positive. And hence why I wanted to spoil it.
It wasn't as gothic as you said it would be.
No, but I think...
Because you said it's like a gothic crime.
Yeah, well, okay, I think...
Murder mystery.
Think about some kind of classic bits of gothic literature like Frankenstein.
Poems.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe thinking less of your kind of like American Gothic Edgar Allan Poe stuff, but the thing about Frankenstein, it is thinking of, it's like evaluating the like technological advances of the time, and in this way, that is absolutely what Rose House is doing. I thought it was great. It was really snappy. It was pacey.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's because you took about 3 weeks to read it. So I think the vibe check here, well, look, the vibe check is the vibe check, and so Sybil's vibe check and my vibe check will be different. And as she's said the word bad 27 times, I think we know what it is.
Actually, 6 times.
Okay.
I counted.
I'm going. Oh,
I mean, you can count.
I will because I'll be editing.
And then you can put it in at the end how many times I actually said bad.
Yeah, I absolutely won't do that. But
why?
But because that I'm already going to have to edit about 10 minutes out of this episode from let's think the multiple times that you loudly drank from your little brother's bottle, the points where you were rustling your little brother's books, the point where your brother came in, the point where, I mean, if I get away without editing all of this bit while you're kicking the sofa, it'll be a miracle. The bit where you fell onto the dinosaur.
You don't have to edit that out.
No, I probably won't edit that bit out.
It's really hard though.
So, not unsure what we'll do in next week's episode.
The Hate You Give.
Well, but you've not finished The Hate You Give yet. I would like to do it on the podcast.
I'm like 3/4.
Yeah, but then I've got to read it as well, haven't I? But we might do a short one while we finish The Hate You Give and the Summer Dare, which I've just started reading to check suitability for Sybil. I would quite like to do that because that actually, from the bits that I've read so far, seems very good. I think that's called the Summer Dare. It's on the kitchen table. Do you want to go?
It is. Yeah, it's called the Summer Dare.
The Summer Dare. So that's a sort of true crimey, thrillery type.
True crime.
Not true crime, sorry, a crime thriller. But we shall see how that goes. But we will endeavour to, at the very least, even if we do a short story in the episode next week, we will pop out an episode and we'll try and do it on time for Sunday this time. So we will see you next week.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
How do you say it in Shakespearean?
I don't know. Fare thee well.
Fare thee well.
Fare thee well, fine listener.